What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel where I talk about all things culinary. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Tiffany Marie. I go by Chef Marie. I'm a personal chef. I'm also a culinary mentor. So if you're someone who's looking to start, scale, or grow a culinary business, you're definitely in the right place. You want to open a restaurant, you want to open a food truck, you're in luck, because we're actually talking about today on this episode things you need to know before opening up a restaurant. So if you haven't done so, make sure you like and subscribe to my page. So let's get into it. So when looking for a restaurant space, a commercial space, brick and mortar space, here are some of the things that you want to make sure you ask the landlord before signing the actual lease. One thing that is very important that can get very costly is the roof that is on the actual building. You want to make sure you get documentation showing when is the last time that they had repairs on the roof, the last time they actually had a roof, when was the roof put on, because if you purchase the property, or if you're buying or leasing the property and you don't know any information about that, if they don't have anything documented or on paper, you're going to be in trouble, because you may get in that facility like a month later. You may have issues with water coming in. Something else may happen, like any cracks and things within the actual foundation. It can cause a lot of issues. And if you have purchased that property, then you're in trouble, because you're going to be ending up with roof repairs, or even having to put a whole new roof on that property, and that's not good. It's going to run you a lot of money. So let's just make sure we're, crossing our T's and dotting our I's when it comes to that. The next thing you want to find out about is the HVAC system within the property, right? So some leases actually allow the landlord to service the HVAC system. So if something happens with the AC, the heat, during the summer months, your air goes out, they will be the one to service that unit. You'll be able to call them. They'll be able to cover it because it's listed in the lease that they are responsible for it. Or there may be cases where you as the tenant are responsible for it. I know when I had my restaurant space, I was the one who was responsible for any maintenance that had to be done for the HVAC. So just like I mentioned about the roofing, you want to make sure that you see documentation that the last time the HVAC unit was serviced, when it was put in, who came and serviced it, what was the date on it, was everything okay, was everything approved, was everything legit with that servicing at that time. Because you don't want to end up in a situation where, like I say, it's 100 degrees outside and then your air conditioning goes out. Then you have to come out of pocket, come out of your own money with having to deal with repairs, or even having to replace the entire unit. And let's not get into like the money part of it, because that's why I always preach to you guys, always get funding, always make sure your credit profile is on point, so you can be able to come out of, not out of your own pocket, but use other people's money, leveraging the bank's money, leveraging credit when you need to do things like repairs and purchase new equipment and things like that. So those are two things you want to just make sure you're doing, and doing your due diligence when it comes to making sure everything is in service, everything is going good with the property itself. So the next thing I want to get into and talk about is location. When looking for a location for a restaurant space, you don't just want to pick the cheapest place. You don't just want to pick the space that's in your favorite area. You want to make sure you're in a high traffic area. High traffic area. What I mean by that is there's a lot of traffic coming through that area nonstop, daily. You have office spaces, dental offices, medical facilities, different other jobs that are local to the area, because people, of course, they want to order food on lunch. They want to go out on their breaks and things like that. They want to go to happy hour after work. So you want to make sure you're within a certain mileage, and you want to make sure those places are within the same vicinity of your restaurant, like under 1 mile, under 2 miles. You don't want to be in an area where people have to drive 30 minutes, an hour to your space. I mean, yes, you're still going to get customers, but especially on those lunch runs and happy hour after work, things like that, dinner time, you want to make sure you are close to a lot of jobs and just places like that. Another thing that I found very essential when it comes to having a restaurant is you also want to be nearby a grocery store or whatever place that you get your inventory from, because I've had times in the past where I've ran out of certain things and then I've had to travel to go purchase those things. So it's always good to be local and be close to a grocery store, a place that, you know, sells the things that you need within your restaurant. If there's a chance or there's something happens where you actually run out of that item. It's not mandatory, but I just would recommend it. That should be a thing that you should consider as well, as you're considering the other things, being around a place that has a lot of job opportunities and things like that. So I hope you got some value from this video. Check out me on the next one. And if you like this, like I said, subscribe, like this video, share it out to anybody that you know in the culinary industry that may need tips on open up a restaurant, different gems that they may need information on in the culinary industry. Or if you're looking for mentorship, make sure you hit my contact information below. I'll see you guys on the next one.